on one second. Okay. Actually, before we do that, let's start with one thing that you are grateful for today in the chat. You can just go ahead and type it in the chat. Today, if you are a previous client or friend or acquaintance of mine in Central Kentucky, today is our huge giveaway day. So I'm really excited and grateful that we pulled this off. It hasn't started yet. It starts at 11, but I'm just grateful that we were able to pull it off. We're giving away a Peloton and a Vitamix and a Theragun and a bunch of gift cards and all sorts of stuff. And so it's been a lot of work, and I'm grateful for Sarah, who really took the load of it and did a lot together. So grateful for that. Milton, yes, that's something major to be grateful for. 14 pounds is a lot of pounds, my friend. Great job. So awesome. Tom Trigg said being on top of the grass. I'm grateful for that too. Yes. Yeah. Rochelle said she's grateful that she likes her house and her family because they're spending a lot of time together. Yes. Jen Courtright. Oh my gosh. Yes. Going on vacation this weekend. That's something else I'm grateful for too. Yes. Milton, family reunion, same thing. Our big convention starts this weekend for Keller Williams, and it is in Orlando. And I called Heather this morning and said, can we bring bathing suits just in case we get like an extra minute to get out and get a little bit of color on this pale skin that I have right now. So Monica, yes, sunshine, same. Awesome. You guys can continue to put what you're grateful for. Just want to remind you of our February challenges. If you have not already watched the last blockbuster on Netflix, you can watch that. It's a great mindset lesson. And it's a little nostalgia. Adam says I always say that word wrong. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but nostalgic. I don't know. At the same time, our journal topic is to be able to take your intentions for the year and journal 3 to 5 small habits that you need to put in place. Your affirmation of the month is you are surrounded by people who lift you up and make you better. And if you are looking for a verse of the month, it's Proverbs 13:20. And actually today, what we're going to talk about, the lesson for today is all around people that you need in your life. So this kind of goes with that. Your random act of kindness is to choose one time this month to leave an outrageously generous tip to someone serving you in any capacity. And I have not done that yet. I left a pretty good tip yesterday, but I wouldn't describe it as outrageous. So I gotta still do that one. And then our book is Find Your Yellow Tux. We will be putting a save the date out, hopefully by the end of this week. I think, hopefully Heather, maybe if we can get him to, I think by the end of this week, we'll be putting a save the date out. And we're going to invite you guys to a webinar where I'll be interviewing Jessie Cole, the author of Find Your Yellow Tux. Our burnout episode on the podcast, highly encourage you to listen to that if you haven't already. And more than even listening, I just encourage you to share it with somebody because this is continuing to be a topic. Adam and Heather and I hosted a top 20% mastermind in our real estate office in Kentucky yesterday. And one of the 3 topics out of the 30 that everybody wanted to talk about was burnout and buyer fatigue and human fatigue and all of those things. So, and then your healthy, holistic, whole and all natural taco salad. Heather, I feel like you should make that before at some point this month. It's really good. So if you can, you guys can make that. And yeah, so today we are going to quickly run through a lesson on the 8 types of people that you need in your life. Adam actually shared this with me. He listened to it before I did, and it was really great. I'm a big Jay Shetty fan. For those of you that don't know Jay, he wrote a book called Think Like a Monk, and he actually went and lived like a monk. I don't remember the time frame, but it was for a period of time, and he talks about that a lot. And so it's really great. So before I tell you the 8 types of people, I want to give you a little background on this. So many of you have probably heard this before. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. If you think that is true or false, type it in the chat. I'd love to hear your feedback. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Or said another way, you are the company that you keep. So we need to be more intentional with our focus on this, especially for our mindset, because I always say this, when you are around negative people all the time, then you can tend to be negative. When you're around people that eat a lot all the time, then you're probably gonna weigh more. If you are around people that are, it's all about them, then it's probably going to be, all about you. So who in your life is helping support you in specific ways? And we're going to talk about that, especially with your mindset and where you may have gaps to fill. It's proven to be harder to make deeper friends as you get older. I read that and I kind of thought, wow, I've never thought of it that way before. But think about it this way. When you're in school, when you go back to your school days, you are with your friends for 6 to 8 hours a day. Today, the average is you're with your friends, your closest friends, 6 to 8 hours a month. And honestly, that's like on a high side, to be honest. So, and really think about how that time has totally changed. When you actually grow with others, it helps build the relationship even deeper. That's one of the biggest reasons why I am, many of you know this, a psycho about events and going to trainings. And I'm like a seminar junkie. I love to go to that stuff, but I don't like to go alone. I love that Adam loves that too, because I like that we can do it together, because it always makes us closer in some way, shape, or form. And I love to do it with my friends or our peers that I work with, or any of those things, because I just feel like we can get deeper when we grow together. This was crazy to me. US families today, sorry, Rochelle, I don't have a Canada stat for you, but it's probably close. US families today spend on average 37 minutes of quality time a day. And on the weekends, they average about 2 hours and 47 minutes of quality time. And that's just true quality time, spending time together and doing what you love together. A big reason for that now is most people are working longer hours than they've ever worked before. They have business fatigue, or said another way, burnout. They want more time on their own than they ever have before, versus being like right up with quality time with your family. So it all fills up our space. And it leads us to, yeah, Rochelle, after 10 days of stuck in, your stats are going to be different. So one thing to remember is we want to be everyone to everything, or sometimes we just expect one person to be everything. Or you may even feel like that you have people in your life that expect you to just be everything to everybody. So when we go through these 8, you may have 1 or 2 of these, and that's great. The ones that you have, I do want you to think about that person, and I want you to just appreciate them and increase your gratitude for them a little bit more. Notice it even for the ones that you can think of as we go through. And then make that a part of your gratitude for the week, to just tell them that you are appreciative of them. So number 1 out of the 8 is everyone needs a cheerleader in their life. We've actually talked about this before, so I love that this was number 1. It's typically a peer. They cheer you on in your every achievement. This one made me laugh, but I love it. They see you post on social media and they share it because they just are your cheerleader, right? They want to share in your accomplishments. They call or text and congratulate you, and they are sincere in their cheerleading, meaning they've always done it. They do it even when the wins are very small. They do it even when there's nothing to cheer about. They'll just come up with something because they're your cheerleader. They always see the good in you, and they always remind you of the good in you. He talks about there's a difference between a yes person and a cheerleader. And a cheerleader, they actually help you see the good in your life. They notice the good and they help you seek it in situations. So when you have a time that you're like in a rut or you're down, your cheerleader in your life will remind you of the good that you have done or the good that you are doing, and they'll help you in that specific situation. Where a yes person, on the contrary to that, is just a person that's always going to agree with you. And realistically, it may feel good, but the reality is that it might not be helping you in any way, because they're just saying yes to just always agree with you. And I love this because I've shared this before, but one of my best friends, Whitney Winchester, she is just an amazing person. And I don't get to see her a lot because she doesn't live near me, and she is like crushing her mom life, and she just is an amazing person. But she is such a cheerleader, and I always laugh because she doesn't even really know sometimes, like she doesn't understand it. I've told you guys this before, like I think she thinks I work for Gary Keller. Like she really has no idea. Her and my mom both, they don't know, they don't understand what I do. But every single time she sees something that looks like a win, she's like congratulations. That's so awesome. Like she shares it and she'll text me and be like, I'm so proud of you. And it just looks like this is like a big deal. I don't know what it means, but I'm just so happy for you. And so I always appreciate in her the fact that she's such a cheerleader. She just is constantly reminding me and congratulating me. The second person that you need in your life is someone that checks you. And so this could be an uncomfortable person in your life. They remind you of your truth, what you've been through, what you're going through, and checking your ego when needed. However, even though it's an uncomfortable person, they're usually one of your strongest allies. And they may not always be chosen, meaning those that check you, you might not want it all of the time, but when you allow it to happen, it can be a really beautiful thing in your life. If you stay humble when they do try to check you or they do check you, the lessons will just continue to come. However, Jay Shetty said this, and I loved it. If you stay arrogant, then the sun can't get into you, meaning you do need to be open to have someone that can check you. And I think it's good, constructive feedback sometimes. And I think for some of us, maybe some more than others, I'm not sure. It can feel like a bruised ego, or we can look at it in a negative way. But when you come from it with abundance and you want to grow and you want to learn, then I think you tend to appreciate it even better. So he wants us to make a list of those that check you. Do you have any? And who do you allow to do this? And it's funny because she doesn't make me uncomfortable, but I appreciate so much the first person I thought of in this, and Heather will know, is Linda McKissick, because she is quick to say, okay, where is your DNA in this? Or where can you find that you've done something, that you might be a part of this specifically. And at the same time, she really makes me think. And if I'm getting in like an emotional state, she'll help me, she checks me, and she probably is one of my strongest allies. She would support me 100% on things, and she would jump to my defense if I needed her to, in a huge way. And I just appreciate that about her. So think about someone who actually, they check you, And if you don't have anyone, then make a note of that too. The third person is someone that cares for you. You spend a lot of time with them. Typically they have a big role in your life. So this is usually going to be somebody in your family. Who are you caring for? Make sure that who is caring for you, you're repaying the favor. So he said, who are we being in someone's life? Figure out who that person is, and think about who you show care for. And his definition of care is that it's somebody that they do what they say that they're going to do. And he said, what do you say you will do for those in your life? And then do you actually do it? That last one got copied and pasted, so just ignore that part. But when you think about someone that cares for you, it's like you might think of a parent or your significant other, or even your child, or it might even be your brother or sister or somebody like that. And I typically thought of first of kind of my family in this one. So are they caring for you? Do you have someone that cares for you, and do you care for them? Number 4 is someone with high character. And what this means is it's somebody in your life that they always represent honesty. Always, no matter what, they have high character. They remind you of your North Star, kind of your why, or why you're doing what you're doing, or who you might even be as a person. Even if there's a situation where you are unsure, they are going to represent honesty, and they're going to always have high character. He says you get reminded of how you want to live when you're around this person. They just make you want to be better and want to have better character. You can see how character is more powerful than anything. He tells a couple stories right here, and he talks about this, but he says it's truly the most charismatic thing. Character is where charisma actually comes from, the word. So think about who in your life has really, really high character. I actually had to really think about this one. I thought of several, to be honest. But I really just want you to think about, and really, do you have anybody that has super high character? Number 5 is someone who is coming to you for help and support, because we're going to talk about why, but this has a lot to do with your mindset. They come to you and you go to them. Who are you showing up for? Are you making time right now to show up for somebody or for other people in your life? He says who you are helping and supporting, that you have a blood connection to, is important. So can you think of someone even just in your family? He said, when you get lost in yourself, life becomes less meaningless. And for me, that was one of the big reasons why I chose the word impact this year as my word of the year and our word for our organizations. Because I think sometimes when we are experiencing burnout, or we're in a rut, or we're just feeling, fatigued, it's because we've been focusing on ourselves too much. And when we can flip that and go focus on other people and make a difference and make an impact and do different things like that, then it pulls us out of that kind of a mindset. He says, when someone comes to you for support, you get to be your best self and you get to grow because you're helping someone else. Being a coach makes you actually better yourself. Some of you are coaches, many of you have a coach, some of you may not have a coach, but it's made you make more time for yourself when you are, when you are a coach. And he says this list is someone who can help, who you can help, and who you can love, because it makes you be a better person also. And then you're helping them in return. The sixth type of person you need in your life is someone competent in the areas that we want to grow in. So this is where you want to make sure that you have a coach. And he says, period. I used to say, sorry, I gotta let Frankie out. We used to say that coaching was a luxury and not a necessity. And I believe the opposite of that now. I believe that coaching is a necessity. It's not a luxury. So when you have a coach, it's someone that understands the areas that you are looking to grow in. So how are you looking to be better? What do you want to accomplish? And then who do you have that's already gone and done that? Or maybe they haven't done it, but they're a great coach and they can help you get there. He said sometimes you have to coach date, meaning make sure that you just don't try to figure it out by yourself. You may have to try a couple of different coaches. I know I've had to do that before. I know some of you on the Zoom have also, but coaching is an investment, not an expense. And here's the thing too, if you feel like you don't have a coach or you're not ready for that yet, you could always have a great mentor. And I was at an investor mastermind last night. I was helping MC an investor event from one of my best friends, Josh. And there was a person who some of us know and who Heather and I know, Ross, on the panel. And someone asked him the question, we asked him the question, how did you get, he took 22 doors last year. He bought 22 doors personally himself. And someone asked the question, how did you do that? Like, what would you say was your biggest factor in being able to get 22 rentals in 1 year? And he said, honestly, I know you're going to think I'm going to say I had creative financing, or it was the only thing I focused on, or, it was luck. But he said, the answer is that I had a really great mentor. He said, for many years, this man sat down with me for 1 to 2 hours a couple times a week. And he mentored me and he taught me how to do the things that I needed to do to be able to get to a place in my life where I could either afford that, or whether I, knew what to look for or how to make it work. And he said, so it wasn't anything, I don't want to take the credit on that. And he said, yes, I worked hard and, I had some creative financing opportunities, but he said more than anything, I just had a really, really great mentor. And so I don't want to underestimate what a coach or even a mentor can do in your life. Number 7 is people that are always there. You need people that are always there. You can always call them up and hang out with them. You connect on them with multiple levels. You know that no matter what you do, they are going to be there. I think of one of my friends and coworkers, Yvette, because so many times, and Heather, you probably heard her say this, but she'll say, I don't really care what the people I love do. They could go out and kill somebody or run somebody over with their car or whatever they do. If I love them, like I'm going to defend them. I'm going to care for them no matter what. I'm always going to be there for them. And she said, would I be disappointed? Yes, but I'm always going to be there for them. So it's someone that is just always there. You respect them, you appreciate them. They're around you and they stay around you because they love and value you, period. And what he says is this person is really special. And when you have people like this in your life, don't forget about them when life gets busy. Hopefully we have a couple that aren't family or aren't just family. I know our family is it's easy to say that, but do you have a friend or a person that isn't blood related in your life that no matter what happens, they're just always going to be there for you? And then number 8 is someone that challenges you. So he talks about checks. Someone who checks you, checks in on you and challenges you are 2 different things. Someone checking in on you, not checking you like we talked about before, but checking in on you is just, are you okay? How are you doing? Someone that challenges you is going to go deeper in your thoughts. So they're going to question you almost to death. I always think of Adam when I think about this, because Adam has this thing that he calls the Three Amigos. I mean, Adam will ask you questions until you are like, I physically cannot answer another question. Like I cannot do it. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't be coached right now. I can't answer any more questions right now. And then other times I'm like, okay, keep asking me more, because it's making me think and it's making me like really process it better. So they'll ask you a lot of questions so that you can really think and go deeper in your thoughts. Adam has, I don't know if Dawn is on this morning or anybody that coaches with Adam, but he has this thing he calls the Three Amigos. And when he's asking a question, he'll ask the Three Amigos, which is just when you think you can't answer any more questions, he'll say, what else? What else? Is there anything else? And he always does it 3 times in a row. So someone that challenges you is gonna ask you really great questions and make you think and go deeper. And I think another way to say this one is just somebody that's a great question asker. You just need somebody in your life that asks you really, really great questions. So out of the 8, just to recap, you need a cheerleader, someone that checks you, someone that cares for you, someone in very high character, someone who is coming to you for help and support, someone who is competent in the area that you actually want to grow in, someone that's always there for you no matter what, and someone that challenges you. So I want us to just be kind of vulnerable and in a sharing mode. And I just want everyone to type in the chat, which one are you maybe missing that you need to go and find more of in your life? Out of the 8, which one would you say that you need to find more of in your life? Rochelle, thank you for going first. Yeah. Oh, number 6. Okay. Yeah. So probably a really great. Oh, Milton, same thing. Or no, Milton said 5. Someone who's coming to you. Yes. Okay. Yep. Leanne, number 2 and number 8. Okay. So you're needing more accountability or someone that kind of, yep. Love it. Perfect. Okay. Dawn said number 5, someone who's coming to her for help, support. Definitely. Yep. Love it. Love it. Tom said number 6, someone who's done it. Yep. Caitlin, 8 and 6. Yes. Love it. Allie, number 5. Yep. Yeah. Love it. Monica said 8. Awesome. This is so good. Love it. Yeah, I think this is awesome. I would probably say 6, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. If I had to answer right off the bat, I was just trying to sit here and think about it. So if you didn't answer, I just want you to continue to think about that. Which one do you need? Okay, Dawn changed her to number 2. Someone that checks you. Dawn, don't tell Adam that. he'll be checking you every call every week. But I do think that's great. And actually that was the one that I was, yeah, he does challenge you. Very true. 2 and 6 were the ones I was kind of going back and forth in. Although Heather kind of checks me too sometimes. So I kind of have that. Okay, so think about which one you're missing, and then think about in your life who that person could be, and how you can spend time to actually go and find that person. And I hope this was helpful. I hope you loved it. You can go listen to the podcast. You're going to get way more than what I told you today. I don't have the podcast number, sorry guys, but it's Jay Shetty's podcast, and it's like his recent one. It was maybe last week or even over the weekend or beginning in the last couple of days in the last week. So encourage you to go listen to that. And thanks for being on. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. See you guys. Thanks guys. Thanks Jen. Thanks.